Hi everyone, this is Sinead, and in this video I am sharing some experiences in relation to me as a portal, or within my body standing as a portal for beings, and also life essences within everything and everywhere in all of existence to have access into this realm, this reality, this dimension of the physical. With having access to all of that, how it has impacted my relationship with myself and others when it comes to being able to see multidimensionally. What does multidimensionally mean? Uh, some people meet me and they are afraid, from a perspective of they come up to me, and some of the first things that they say kind of just spewing out of them, not that they intended to say it, but they just couldn't help themselves, that, but I'm so scared that you can read and see my thoughts, that you can see what's going on in me. And I'm actually so ashamed of standing here in front of you with everything that's going on in my mind right now or has been. And in that, I realize that many have a misconception about my access within and through the portal and other people's minds, thoughts, inner dialogue, emotions. So this video also to clarify that part of me, that ability of me, or skill. Now, in the dimensions, when I started portaling, I got to know so many beings in existence. I mean, an innumerable amount. And each and every single being had a unique gift. I remember one of the first beings I met. She's quite an extraordinary being. Walking up to her the first time ever I started portaling, and she had this kind of a coat on, and this coat was alive with energy, with colors that I have never seen before. It was like the coat in itself was alive, was an entity. And that being, over time, developed the skill or ability to see the geometry of emotional energy and feeling energy. And so in the beginning, during the portaling, I would ask her, can you show me the geometrical design of love? But then, interestingly enough, she'd ask me, well, what love? I said, no, just love. She said, no, there's not just love. There is friendship love. And then in friendship, there is conditional love. And then there is unconditional love, but with conditions. And in friendship, there is just a intermittent love. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, so she actually taught me a lot about how many variations of a word exists in a given relationship with something or someone, inside yourself or your life. And within that, not only the variations of a word, but also energies. So walking a process with her allowed me to define my emotions and feelings a lot more specifically and in detail. So not only that, but also the geometry of it, the design of it. It's fascinating how each and every single one of your emotions and feelings have got a shape to them, a very unique one at that. I also wanted to ask her, but okay, what about just show me the shape, the geometry, the design of love? It's like, no. That doesn't exist. Because each and every single one in this world, in existence, has got a very individual, unique signature design. Even love as life. Here looking at love in the principle of equality and oneness as life. There is a design, a geometry, purely, let's call it, belonging to the substance of life itself. But at the same time, when each and every single one of us in existence redefine the word love for ourselves as life, it's going to be unique and individual, but united in the principle of life, of equality and oneness. Why I'm sharing this with all of you is that eventually, over time in the dimensions, all of us realize that, why only keep the gifts and the skills and the abilities we have to ourselves? Why not share everything each and every single one of us can do with everyone else? So in other words, what she could do, every single being then in the dimensions or in existence could eventually do. And including me. And then, so over time, we all could do and apply for ourselves so much more. We made one another and ourselves whole in sharing our skills, gifts, and abilities. Obviously, sometimes what I do still is cross-reference with her, because this skill or ability or gift was her, she was almost naturally, let's call it, born into existence with that gift or skill or ability. But I also have that. And now, like in my relationship with people, I'm not someone who constantly walks around with my multidimensional eyes and scanning and looking at all your energies and your emotions and your feelings, which I can do, yes. Can I access people's thoughts? I only do that when I'm out of my body into the other side, and when and as it's necessary, for example, when people request private recordings on EQAF, which is when I bring through your mind, your being, and your body through the portal. And those levels of yourself does a recording for you through the portal. And when that comes through, I also then go into your mind, being, and body and merge with you to assist and support as a cross-reference point for your mind, being, and body, to assist and support in the questions that you ask in the private recording. So it's very direct, but it is also double-checked to make sure the information is clear, direct, and absolutely supportive. So it is always only done to assist and support. That's the only time that it's really needed. But, for me, why access another person's thoughts, inner dialogue, and emotions that you're experiencing everyday life when you're seeing it yourself already? I find I am more purposeful and meaningful and valuable in people's lives in sharing with you the deeper things that's going on in you that you do not have access to. Here, having a look at the quantum mind, the quantum physical, the deeper dimensions of yourself and your body, and how to assist and support yourself with that, which I'm also doing a lot more specifically and in detail in EQAF. So, and that's also what the beings are doing through portaling in EQAF. They walk all the designs that's on such deep levels of your consciousness, your body, that you might not initially consciously see, but in hearing the recordings and testing things out for yourself, you start seeing what's really going on inside yourself. But not only that, also how to help yourself through it and with it and change for the better. Right, everyone. So this is to clarify that nope, I'm not constantly, even if we meet, looking at your thoughts and your emotions and your inner dialogues and things like that, unless it's needed. Meaning that if a person comes to me when I physically meet them and they need some help with something, then I will bring through their mind, being, and body through the portal, as well as myself. And we work together in assessing what's going on in your mind and yourself. But in the next video, I'll continue sharing what I do see and how that part of my seeing has actually become what I would sometimes refer to as another part of my gift as well as curse of portaling. All right, everyone. Thank you very much.